All right, so Deb has talked a little bit about the beginning of the process where we talked about what we wanted a healthy York County to look like and sort of our vision for what a healthy York County would be. And the next step in the process was really to work really hard and do some assessments to figure out where we were in terms of health and things like that. So the first step in that process was our community themes and strengths assessment. And this one was one I really enjoyed doing. It was the very first thing I was a part of when I joined this Healthy Maine partnership. And the purpose of this assessment was to identify concerns of the community members and figure out what strengths our community had in addressing those concerns. So as Sarah mentioned, we put together a short survey. It was just 2 pages front and back. It was also available online. So we used an online survey tool to help us collect survey information, as well as utilized all of you and our fabulous partners to make sure we distributed the survey as widely as possible. Our committee, our MAPP core committee, had come up with a goal of distributing the survey to 10% of the population of York County and getting 10% of that 10% to respond. So we had hoped to get about 1,800 responses, and we were pleasantly surprised and very excited to get over 3,100 survey responses, and that they represented people from across the district. Every town was represented. So we were really excited, and it really showed the dedication and interest people had in this project and helping determine some of the assets and strengths of our community. A couple of things that we learned about. Our community members feel that healthy communities have these things, and if you think about it, it really makes sense. So you want a good, safe place to raise children, safe neighborhoods, schools, you need good jobs, clean environment. So a lot of the same things that came out in the visioning and forces of change piece were really reflected in the results of the community themes and strengths assessment as well. Some of the assets that people identified, so there was a question that asked, what do you think works well in York County? So this is just a quick sample of some of the things that people thought were assets here in York County, and definitely you can see that this is very representative as well. Challenges, and there were a lot of challenges, of course, identified, but the biggest 4 health-related issues were the obesity, substance abuse, cancers, and tobacco. And then on the sort of community side, or more issue side, were the disparities in housing and economic conditions across the district. So it was really recognized that certain areas, the economic and housing issues aren't nearly as important as they are in other parts of the community. So we have a diverse district that makes up that includes a lot of different communities, and it's really important to keep that in mind as we're going through this process. We did put in a question: if money were no object, what would you like to see? And as you can imagine, people wanted access to health and dental care for everyone, and more bike lanes, sidewalks, fitness facilities, and free access to all of those things, which I think in any perfect world where you had as much money as you want, we would hope to have all of these things and more.